Hello, grade 11 students. Welcome back to our statistics and probability class. And this will be the second week of our fourth quarter, or the last quarter of this semester. Okay, so let's continue on how to, or let's continue learning about sampling or samples. Okay, so I will share my screen here, and this will be our main topic for today. Okay, this is our lesson 2, and this is sampling distributions. Okay, so from the word sample, this is inside or part of the population, right? So last time we did how to, or the different terms in the statistics, and how population and sample differ to each other. Okay, the only thing what we are sure is the sample is inside the population. Okay, so we have to learn how sample distributes, or this what we call sampling distributions. So our main goals we have here is correctly identify sampling distributions of statistics or the sample mean. Okay, properly construct sampling distribution of the sample mean using a probability distribution table, and accurately solve real-life problems involving sampling distribution of the sample mean. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the word mean. Mean is the average, right? So we will still find the average of a sample. Okay, so these are our guide questions. How do you solve for the mean of a collection of data? Okay, so this is the first question we need to know. How do you get the median of a set of data? Aside from the mean, median, and mode, what other statistics can you get from the data and the activity? Okay, so here we will also uh, add, okay, the other types of central, how do you call that one? The central tendency, right? The mean, median, and mode. Okay, in our topic today. Okay. So this will be the description or definition of the sampling distribution. It says here, this is a probability distribution of a statistic obtained from all possible samples of a particular size from a population. Okay, so we already separate, okay, the sample in the population. Okay, for example, we have this population 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the sample size is n equals 2, and the statistics is the sample mean. So this is the example of the table that we will use in finding the sampling distribution of the sample mean. Okay, we have the samples. We only have 3 data here. Okay, we have 1, 2, and 3. That means the first data, second data, and the third data. Okay. Oops, what's that? So here we need to um, pair, or we need to find a pair that is inside our population, so we can have the sample size. It says here the sample size, it must have 2 numbers. So the first sample, the first, okay, sample datum, or this one is 1 and 2. So from 1, 2, and 3, we need to find pairs. Okay, so we can pair 1 and 2. That's the one. We can also pair 1 and 3. So that's a 1. And then, of course, we have 2 and 3. So we have only 3 samples here. Okay, so in our population 1, 2, and 3, sample size is 2, so we have 2 pairs, and those are 1, 2, 1, 3, and 2, 3. Okay, on those samples, we need to find the sample mean. And on sample mean, that is the average. So how to find that average? We will just plus 1 1 plus 2 is 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Okay? Again, we will just concentrate on the samples. Okay? So 1 plus 2 is 3 divided by 2, that is 1.5. 1 plus 3 is 4 divided by 2, that is 2. 2 plus 3, that is 5 divided by 2, that is 2.5. Okay? And we need to find the probability. How to find the probability of our sample here? Okay? We will base our probability on our sample mean. Let's see, the first one is 1.5. There is no other 1.5, right? So we will put only one because there is only one 1.5 and we have three sample means. Okay, so the denominator, that is the total number of sample mean. So kung 10 yan, so we have 10 as denominator. But since here we have only 3, so we will just put 3 as denominator. Okay, and then since we only have one 1.5, so we will just put 1. Okay, 2. How many 2 we have here? Only 1, 2. So we have also 1/3. 2.5. We also have only one 2.5. So we will put here 1/3. Okay? That is how to find or how to do a sampling distribution. Again, this is only a probability distribution of a statistic obtained from all possible samples of a particular size from a population. Okay? This is a probability. Probability. Okay? The information from repeated random sampling. Okay, what are those informations? First, what values of the statistic that can occur? How often each of these values occurs? So that those are the two main information that we need to know, okay, para makuha natin yung sa probability na part. Okay? Una, what values of the statistic that can occur? Yun yung mga nasa sample mean. How often each of these sample means occurs? So yun naman papasok siya doon sa probability. Okay? Just like this one, from the previous example, the values of the sample mean are 1.5, 2, and 2.5. Each of those values of the sample mean occurs once only, correct? Okay. These are the three ways of determining the sampling distribution of a statistic. To determine the sampling distribution of a statistic, we can use laws of probability, simulation, and statistical theorems. So those are the ways of determining the sampling distribution of a statistic. Okay, so we can use the laws of probability. What are the laws of probability that we know? Okay, we can use those. Simulation, okay, kung paano mo siya titignan. And then the statistical theorems, okay, those are part of the percentages and other staffs, okay? So number one, derive the distribution mathematically using the laws of probability. So yung parang ginawa natin kanina. If we only have 1, 2, and 3, using the laws of probability in simulation and statistical theorems, we can identify the pairs. Okay? Our main word is pair. So we will just only get a pair. So here we have how many pairs? We have 1, 2, it's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 3. So we have 3 pairs. Okay, those are what we call for number 1. And number 2, we will use a simulation to approximate the distribution. Okay, draw a large number of samples of size n, calculate the value of the statistic for each sample, and then tabulate results in a relative frequency histogram. When the number of samples is large, the histogram will be very close to the theoretical sampling distribution. Okay, this is only an explanation on how we can, just like how we can present, okay, our sampling distribution. Okay, use of theorems to derive exact or approximate sampling distribution. Okay, so these are the three ways of determining the sampling distribution of a statistic. First, we need to know how to get the pairs, okay, and how to identify the sample mean, and then we will know the probability. Example, the larger the sample size, the closer the sampling distribution of the mean would be to a normal distribution. Okay? Example 1. A population consists of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. List all the possible samples of size 2. So we have a pair again, 2. And construct and sample the sampling distribution of the sample mean. So ang ating first step kanina, using all those information that we discussed, okay, before this example, of course, we need to know the pairs first. Ano yung mga pair na yan? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, i-prepare ko muna si 1. So lahat muna tayo may 1. 1, I will pair with 2. 1, I will pair with 3. 1, I will pair with 4. And 1, I will pair for 5. Correct? So 1 is finished. Let us proceed to 2. 2, I can pair with 3. 2, I can pair with 4. And 2, I can pair with 5. Okay, that's 2 is finished. We have now 3. I can pair with 4. And 3, I can pair with 5. And last one, we have 4 and 5. Okay? How about, so pwede ko bang ulitin yung numbers but in a different way, something like that. So pwede ko pang gawin is 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. The answer is no. Okay, you already have a pair. 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 are the same. Okay, so we will just use the numbers that are different to the others. So 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, and 4, 5. So those are our samples. Okay, those are our possible samples of size 2. So we will put those in a table, just like we did last on the first one, right? So we will put on the first one here. So this will be the samples. Okay, so we will put those here. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Medyo makulit pa kasi mamaya may lalabas itong table. So, hindi ko na siya pinapaganda. And then, the second part here, the second column, we have the sample mean. Correct? So, to see the organized way, just like this, okay, so list all the possible samples of size 2 and compute for the sample mean. So we have 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, and 4, 5. So if we will count all of them, our samples, we have 10 samples, right? Then we will count, or we will solve for the sample mean. It's easy. What is 1 plus 2? 1 plus 2 is 3, divided by 2 is 1.5. Okay, and do that process until you find every sample mean of each sample. Okay, so we already found the 10 pairs and the sample mean of each pair. Okay, And then, to find the probability, okay, kailangan natin bilangin kung ilan yung 1.5, ilan yung mga numbers na nakalagay doon. Okay? Construct the sampling distribution of the sample mean using a probability distribution table. So this is what we call probability distribution table. Recall that the probability of each sample mean is computed by dividing its frequency by the total frequency of all possible sample means. Right? So yung sinasabi ditong total number of or total frequency of all sample means, ilan yung sample means natin? We need to count those. We need to count how many. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 sample means, right? So automatically, we have 10 as our denominator. Yung sinasabi sa pangalawa kanina. Okay? So if we have a 10 as denominator, then we will just compute the upper part. So bibilangin lang natin ilan yung 1.5. Okay, ilan yung 1.5. Here, we only have 1.5, right? So that's why we found 1.5 as 1 over 10. It's because there's only 1.5. Okay? Ilang 2 yung ating given? Ilang 2? We have 1. There's only 1 also. There's only 1, 2. That's why we got 1 over 10. And it's a probability. Ilan yung 2.5? So how many 2.5 do we have? 1 and then 2. So we have here 2 over 10. Or in simplifying 2 over 10, ang magiging sagot natin is 1 over 5. Correct? So how many 3? Sige, para makita natin lahat. 3, we have 2 3s. Okay? That's why we also have 1 over 5. 3.5, well, ilang 3.5 yun nandoon? We have 1 and then 2. 2, 3.5. So therefore, we have 1 over 5 also. Ilan yung 4? You only have 1 4 and 1 4.5. Okay? Again, if we have a probability distribution, our total must be 1. Tama? 1 daw yung total natin. So if we will add all of these, the sum must be 1 or 10 over 10. It's because we have 10 as denominator. Did you understand that one? Okay, this class is too easy. Okay? Hindi siya mahirap. Okay? Let us do another example. I will make the numbers more bigger. Okay? So I will share my whiteboard. Yeah. Okay. So we have here, for example, our population is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then we need to have the sample n equals to, I mean, it's a pair. Okay, and we need to find the sample mean of each and the probability of each pair. Okay, now let us find now the pairs. So dito gagawa muna ako ng table. Okay. So these are our samples. This is our sample means and the probabilities. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Next will be 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, how about 28? 8. Next, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 4, 6, 7, 8. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. Marami. Then we have 6, 7, 6, 8. Then 7, 8. Okay, so we will put all of those here. Ang kukulangin ng space natin. Kulangin. So I will erase this part para lumaki yung kan natin. So we have the samples. We have the sample mean and the probability. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8. Kulang talaga siya. Okay, it's okay. We'll just put those 2, 3, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 9. Walang 2, 9. 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 7, 3, 8. Ito lang gagawin ko. Okay, just understand na lang itong part na ginagawa ko. 3, 8, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8, 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 8, 6, 7, 6, 8, and then 7, 8. Okay? So, just imagine na diretso yan, ha? Nagawa ko lang siyang dalawang columns para magkasya na itong numbers natin. Okay? Lagyan ko siya ng grade para meron tayong ay, naku, hindi ko nagkasya. Pati yung grade di kasya. Ayan, kakasya natin yan. Kasya niya. Okay. So let us find the sample mean of each pair. 1 and 2, that's 1 plus 2. That's 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. And then 1 plus 3 divided by 2 is 4. Divide by 2 is 2, I should say. 2. That's 4 plus 1 is 5. That's 2.5. 1. Ay! May 5 pa doon. May 1.5 pa dito. Yari. Magulo-gulo. Kaya pa namin tindi. Okay. Then 1.5, that's 3. 1 in 6, that is 3.5. 1 in 7, that is 4. 1 in 8, 4.5. So may pattern na tayo. 2 plus 3, that's 5. Divided by 2 is 2.5. 2 plus 4, 8. 6. So 3, 2, 5, 3.5, 2, 6. This one here, 2, 6. That is 4, 2, 7, 4.5. 3, 2, 7, and 2, 8, I should say. Meron pa tayong 2, 8, so that's 10, so we have 5. And then 3, 4, that's 3.5. 3, 5 is 4. And then 3, 6, 4.5. 3, 7 is 5. And 3, 8 is 5.5. Okay? So, dito lang is I'm just finding its mean. Mean ng mga samples. That's why we call it sample mean. Okay? So I just added the two numbers in one pair. It's like here 1 plus 2 equals 3, and then we will just divide by 2 to find the average. Okay, yun ang ginagawa ko. So just understand what I am writing here, okay? 4 and 5 divided by 2, that's 4.5. 4 and 6, that's 10 divided by 2, so we have 5. 4, 7, 11, 5.5. 4, 8, that's 12, so we have 6. 5, 6, that's 11, so 5.5. 5, 7, that is 12, so we have 6. 13 divided by 2, 6.5. Then 6, 7, 30 divided by 2 also 6.5. 6, 8, that's 7. And then 7, 8, we have 7.5. So those are the sample means of each sample, okay, on this part. Now let's find its probability. So we will just list down, okay? I-list ulit natin yung mga sample mean. Okay? Yung mga sample mean na kunin ko itong part na to. Para meron tayong ibang. Okay. So the thing here is we will separate the probability to another table para mas mag-gets natin. Okay? So I will do another table here. It will include the sample mean and the probability. Okay? So ang gagawin natin dito, we will just list down the numbers na hindi na iisa na lang, hindi na sila madodoble. For example, this one. We have here 6.5, right? So I will just write only one 6.5, and then we will just find the probability. Did you get it? For example, this one. We only have one 1.5, so I will just put 1.5 here. Okay? That's 1. 2. We have how many 2? Only 1 also. So I will just put 2. We have 2.5. We have 3. 3.5. 4. 4.5. So ilista mo lang lahat ng mga numbers na makikita mo dyan. Hindi mo siya pwedeng ulitin. Okay? 4.5. 5. 5.5. 6. 6.5. 7. At may isa pa. 7 point. Gawa tayo ng isa pang line. 7.5. It's because we have 7.5 here. Okay? Now, let us find the probability. What is the probability of 1.5? Okay? Yeah. Let us first count how many numbers do we have, or how many samples do we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So we have over 28. So 28 will be our denominator next for this one. So let's count for 1.5. 1.5, we have only 1. Let's finish. So I will just put 1 over 28. That's for the first. Okay. 1 over 28. Next, how many 2 do we have? Let's count 2. 1. Also 1. So I will put 1 over 28 still. Okay. How many 2.5 do we have? 1, 2, 2. So we have 2. 2 over 28 or 1 over 14. Right? So, tawag dito, the lowest term ko na siya. Okay? The lowest term of 2 over 28 is 1 over 14. Okay? Next, how many 3 do we have? 1, 2. Only 2 also. So we have also 1 over 14. How many 3.5 do we have? 1, 2, 3. So we have 3. So can we divide 23 by 3? No, cannot. So we will just put 3 over 28. That will be the lowest term. How many 4 do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 also. So 3 over 28. Okay. 4.5. How many 4.5 do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we have 4. 4 over 28. Let us find its lowest term. So if we will divide both numbers by 4, so we have 4, 8, 16, 28, 4, 28. So we have 1 over 7. Okay? How many 5s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay? So we have 3 over 28. How many 5.5 do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 also. How many 6 do we have? 1, 2. We only have 2. There's 1 over 14. How many 6.5 do we have? 1, 2. So we have 1 over 14. How many 7 do we have? 1. Only 1. So we have 1 over 28. How many 7.5 do we have? We have only 1. So we have 1 over 28. Okay, so those are the process on how to find the probability, okay, using the sample mean and the samples. And that is what we call the sampling distribution. Okay, we are finding the probability of each sample. Okay, the sampling distribution. Okay, now let's back to our PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so that is our first one to know. And then for our example 2, using the same experiment in example 1, construct the sampling distribution of the sample range. Okay, from the word range, we will just minus the first number or the second number to the first number. Or we will count what will be the range of those numbers. Okay? So example is like this. List of all possible samples of size 2. Excuse me. So we will just use the samples. Okay. We have sample 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, and 4, 5. We have 10, right? We have 10 samples. So how to find a sample range? It's easy. What is 2 minus 1? 1. 3 minus 1, 2. 4 minus 1, 3. 5 minus 1, 4. 3 minus 2, 1. 4 minus 2, 2. 5 minus 2, 3. 4 minus 1, 1. 4 minus 3, I should say. 5 minus 3, 2. And 5 minus 4, 1. That is how you can find the sample range. As simple as that. So, in your activity, you need to do 3 tables, okay? Yung first table natin is just consist of sample and the sample B. Okay? That's the first table. Second table natin is we will simplify it using sample mean only and the probability. Okay? And then for the third table, it only includes sample and sample range. Okay? So we have 3 tables in sampling distribution. Did you get it? You must get it. Okay, of course, we'll just and, and then for the last part, we will also include another table. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We also have another table. Ayaw mo erase no ating so we have one more table. We have the sample range. And then the probability of the sample range. Okay, it's like this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many 1 do we have? We have 2 over 5. How many 2 do we have? We have 3 over 10. How many 3 do we have? It's like here. We are just moving here. Okay. How many 1 do we have? We have 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So what is the lowest sum of 4 over 10? That is 2 over 5. Okay? That is how we can find the probability, right? We will just count how many numbers or how many ones that is included on our sample range. Okay? So wag malilito. This one is the same as the sample mean tsaka probability. Okay? So we have 4 tables that we must do in one activity. Okay? So I will give you your activity in the QSA. I'll just give you one. Okay, it consists maybe from 1 to 100. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'll give you a short only activity. Okay, so see you again next time, and this will be uh, the end of our discussion. Bye bye.